Welcome to the Urban GardenHER YouTube channel. My name is Alexis and I am the Urban GardenHER. Today I am out in the garden, the community garden, just checking on some stuff, but today we are going to be doing something that I've been looking forward to since last October, which is finally harvesting our garlic. So this garlic here has been in this bed since, like I said, October. Garlic bulbs need a cold stratification period where they're planted in the fall and they just are in the ground during those cold months, just doing their thing until when spring comes around the corner and they start sprouting, and then you start to see your garlic come up and you get garlic scapes, which are like these long looking little, I guess, I don't know what you want to call them, but I guess there's garlic scapes. But and you harvest those so that it can add more energy back into the bulb so that it can grow some more, which I did a few weeks ago. And so now we are at the point where we can actually finally harvest our garlic. I'm so excited, y'all, because last year was the first year I ever grew garlic, I guess semi-successfully. I didn't take off the garlic scapes, so my bulbs weren't as huge as they could have been. But this year, I think I did it right. I already tested one out unexpectedly, like earlier this week, because I was out here harvesting some cabbage, and when your garlic starts to look like it's dying down like this, that's when you know it's time to harvest. So I was like, let me just check it out, and it looked perfect. So today we are going to pull up our garlic. Hopefully all of it is ready, so let's get started. All right, so as I was pulling them up, I was noticing that some of the bulbs were still kind of small. I'll show you an example of one. So like this bulb here, it looks good, right? It's a bulb, but I feel like it can get a little bigger if we were to just let it sit here a little longer. Now, although it looks to be dying back, I think that it needs to die back a little bit more. So it needs to have a lot more of this, the dead leaves on it, be more yellow in order for it to be ready to harvest. And I left about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I left 11 garlic bulbs in the ground still, and I think I'm gonna wait a couple more weeks to see how things look, and let them get a little bit bigger, because I think that, though these look good, I think that they can get a little bigger. So we're gonna let them sit here a little longer. Hopefully we'll get that sweet spot to where they're not rotting in the ground, but also to where they've gotten a little bit more fuller. So we'll wait a couple more weeks and we'll check back then. But for now, I think we have some a nice little harvest here. I'll show you what we have so far. So we got a good mix of some elephant garlic, which is the bigger bulbs, along with some of the regular hardneck garlic. This is a nice size one. But again, I think that we just need to let these sit just a little longer. I know I gotta be patient, but this is what we have harvested so far. Ooh, sun's in my eyes, but y'all, I decided to come back out about a week later, almost a week later, to harvest the rest of my garlic. I was gonna wait until a couple more weeks, but it's getting hot outside. The bulbs are a decent size, and if I were to leave them in longer, I was advised to pull them up sooner than later because they'll start to separate, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the rest of my garlic that's in the bed, and I'm gonna transplant either, I don't know, I'm thinking about transplanting a tomato plant. Of course, I'm gonna fill some the soil up with some, or replenish the soil with some fertilizer, and I'm also gonna plant a watermelon seed. So let's get started. All right, so we're just gonna pull up. Let me get my shovel first. Find my shovel, handy dandy shovel, because we don't want to just pull it up by its roots. Else it's just going to break apart. All right, so we're just gonna just use this shovel here to dig around it, see what we can get. Kind of feel we don't want to pull it up by the stem here, or else it's gonna like break apart. So, look, there's our garlic. Not bad, not too bad. I feel like, I don't know, it's a decent size, but you know, I don't know. I don't think it would have got any bigger than this. So we're just gonna pull up the rest of our garlic here and just replenish the soil. All right, that's all the garlic. That's all of the garlic. So these are like, you know, decent size. They're not too bad. Some of them are kind of small, but you can kind of tell that they were going to be small by the size of the stem. So, but the larger ones, of course, have bigger stems. So not too bad, not too shabby, y'all. Not too shabby. I'm pretty proud of this here garlic harvest. Like this is my second year growing it, and like the first year, like I said before, made the mistake of harvesting it too early before. I didn't break off the garlic scapes, which helps with, it growing larger. This year I did actually pull out the garlic scapes and left them alone for a couple weeks, and here we are. So pretty pleased by this, but this space here is left open, so that means opportunity to grow something else. So I'm probably gonna I'm gonna look on the other side of my garlic, or on the other side of my raised bed, to see what space I have over there. But I was initially thinking about putting my watermelon seed here, but then I'm like, do I want to put my tomato here instead? I have tomato transplants, Roma tomatoes, because for some reason I mix up my seedlings in the house, and my other tomatoes growing in the backyard are like Better Boy, and I wanted Romas. So yeah, I'm gonna think about it for a second, see what I want to put out here. All right, and here's another look at the garlic, so you all can see it's not too bad, not too shabby. Decent sized garlic here. So I'm like, some of it has fallen, but I don't know if you can tell. Ooh, you can tell the size of the garlic here. I don't have my selfie stick, so yeah, sorry, I'm holding both. But yeah, decent sized garlic. I'm pretty pleased by this. And while I'm out here, I might as well give you all a little peek of what else is going on with my onions here, which were started from seed back in November, December. And look at them. They're taking off and bulbing. Ooh, they look so good. Look at y'all. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Like, I'm happy that I was able to grow these from seed and not buy the transplants. Like, this was probably one of the easiest things. No, that's a lie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It wasn't as easy, but I'm just happy that I was able to do it. So I will definitely walk you all through what I did to get these when I do finally harvest them. But yeah, here goes my onions so far right now. Okay, so while I'm eyeing this space, again, like I said, I wanted to grow watermelon and tomatoes. So I mean, they're not companion plants, but this is a large enough bed to where, like, at least the root systems won't compete for nutrients. But that watermelon is going to take over this entire bed. But the tomato, what I'm thinking, the tomato is going to trellis up. So I'm going to probably put a watermelon seed right there. And I'm probably going to put a tomato plant right there. And maybe two plants. We'll see. And then, as you know, the melon's going to take a little while to grow. So by the time it gets to a size, I'm going to harvest my onions by then, so that they won't be competing for space with that. I have this here collard green plant that I still am trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it, because I was surprised that it was growing there, but it's growing. So I have a collard green plant there. I got some cauliflower here. Cauliflower and some cabbage. So hopefully by the time this watermelon gets to a decent size, all of this will be gone. That's the logic, that's the thinking. So we'll see. I mean, I already got some cabbage almost ready to harvest. Look at it, formed a head there. So that will probably be harvested next. Then probably that one, this one next, and then I have some cauliflower. Ooh, cauliflower that's almost ready to harvest. Hopefully it's doing okay. So yeah, that's the plan. All right, so I'm gonna put 2 watermelon seeds. You know, just thinking that maybe one of them might not germinate. If 2 germinate, then I'm just gonna pull one of them up, and that's gonna be where our watermelon is. So we got our watermelon seeds transplanted there, and a tomato plant there. I don't know what else I'm gonna put around here, but like that watermelon is gonna take over this entire bed. So I'm gonna limit how much else I companion plant up in this bed. So let's water it in. All right, so just get a little bit of water, watering everything down. But yeah, like, yeah, there's no sprayer for this here water hose. But yeah, this is like literally like my rotation of plants in my community garden. I usually do like my cooler weather vegetables in the springtime, like my brassicas here and my onions and carrots. And then once I harvest those and I switch them out for my warmer weather vegetables, like my tomato and my watermelon, and that's usually my cycle. And I might do another round of some brassicas in this fall, depending on when I harvest my watermelon. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Okay, so I have dug a hole, and I'm using some of this all-purpose fertilizer that has an equal number of nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium. And I put some in the hole. I probably should mix it up a little bit because you don't want it to get the fertilizer to be too close to the root system. It might burn it. So let me just mix it around a little bit, but whatever. So I have my hair transplant, which is really big, and I'm going to knock off this here stem, this branch, stem, because we're gonna dig it. We don't want our stems to be too close to the soil, and the more stems you have, like the deeper you have, you see how the stem has roots or like hair on it. Apparently that's where some of the roots can form, so you can just put it deep in there so that as the soil touches it, it'll form roots along the stem, which will make it a stronger root system. So that's what we're going to do, and just put our soil all around it so they can just be sturdy and strong and stable here. Yeah, so that is my Roma tomato here. Hopefully I can remember that, and then I'm gonna water that down. All right, so we are all done with harvesting our garlic and transplanting a tomato plant and directly sowing a watermelon seed. So my community garden is flourishing. So much growth, so much is happening here. I'm able to harvest and also succession plant things so that I can have a continuous harvest within my community garden bed. So I hope you all learned something and enjoyed watching my journey growing garlic, and I hope you stay tuned. Please be sure to subscribe and like, and I will see you next time. Happy gardening.